film Astha?
Well, apparently he represents urban middle class man who is teaching. He's professor in a college. But more than that, I think he represents a certain attitude of a man. I think with that attitude, the man can be of any class. He could be a poor man, he could be elite class, he could be from anybody. I mean, anybody can have that kind of attitude, which is quite rare. Of endurance, understanding, above pettiness. These are the kind of qualities which can be in any man from any class. But apparently he is from the urban middle class.
What was your first impression when you read the script or described the role?
First impression was very good. I mean, with one or two small little reservations here and there, which were clarified with Basudha, and very relevant. Talks about consumerism and man's relationship with today's world of consumerism, which creates so much pressure on a man or any human being that if you stumble to that, you perhaps will reduce your lifespan, by half if you give in to those pressures.
Did you have to work on the role, what they call doing any research or any background, this thing, or?
No, I mean, it is not that kind of a theme, not that kind of a, it's not a period film, it's modern film. It is something which, if as an individual you are a little aware, if you read newspaper or if you are in touch with today's developments, etc., so it is not really a demanding part.
Did you identify with the character you were playing, his morals, his attitudes?
Certainly, I mean, I feel that there is a part of, everybody which is perhaps striving to be that. How much we are able to achieve, what degree, what he has achieved in his life, the balance, a sense of, his whole approach to life, his understanding of human relationships, and not falling prey to the tide of consumerism. Each one of us do try in our own manner, but for example, I haven't succeeded even 20% of what this man, in terms of his contradictions. There are very few contradictions. In fact, I don't find any contradictions. When he says things like, for example, his wife asks him, the daughter needs Nike shoes. So he says, well, I understand she needs shoes, but not necessarily Nike shoes. She needs decent shoes. So which shows the man's approach to life.
Rekha is your co-star in film, and she has this fascinating personality. What will you remember of her in the Astha days?
Professional, punctual. This is my first film with her, and I didn't notice anything which is not normal, which is, though she's been a huge star and she still is, and she didn't throw her weight around on the sets. I mean, not if little bit weight you throw around, that anybody, all of us do, director, cameraman, actors. So which is normal. You get tired, in the evening. If you want to work, very late, more than 10 hours, then you say, look, we do it tomorrow, things like that, which all of us say. It's a But otherwise, and her sense of participation with everybody, with the co-actors, with the child, and her participation was full. She would suggest things if she feels कि अच्छा ये shirt कैसा है, नहीं दादा चश्मा नहीं पहनना चाहिए इसको, things like these. So which is very, very healthy and very professional.
What were your impressions of her as an actress while working with her?
Why only working with her? I have seen her films, and she is a wonderful actress and very dedicated to her work, and has a immense experience behind her. She's done so many films. The first film I remember of her where I really sat up, and that is the only film where I didn't go out in the interval, which I saw it in the theatre. I saw it in Bandra Talkies years ago. That was Ghar. And the film interval takes place when she is kidnapped by some goons, and her yells and shrieks, etc. It had so much impact that I was thinking of the film, I was thinking of the story, I was thinking of the situation, and I didn't get up to go out for a smoke or for tea. That was my impression of her as an actress.
Vasudha has written this fascinating story for this film, Astha. How do you think his approach to the film has been? What were your impressions?
I think he handled it well, and he was very unassuming in his approach, which the film is also like that. Film is also very, very unassuming and very normal. It's day-to-day kind of situations. There's no high drama as such, but very, as I said, unassuming. I think that's the right word. It's a very unassuming film.
What would you say is Vasudha's strength as a director, his forte?
His forte is human relationships. And most of his films one has seen, right from Teesri Kasam onwards, which is one of my favorite films, which I can see every week. I've been telling Vasudha, I said, give me a cassette, but I don't know why he's not giving it to me.
What will be your most abiding memory of Astha?
Vasudha suddenly calling up and saying, Om, aaj shooting nahi hai. You're all set, you're ready. No, this didn't happen very often. But which was a great relief also. Suddenly you get a holiday.
Seriously, was there any? How will you look back on Astha? What will come to your mind?
Astha frankly was like sitting at home and you're working at home. It didn't give me the impression that I am going to a studio for shooting. Because we shot here in this house, we are familiar with the house, we've been coming here for many years. So the whole feeling was very homely, and it was not sort of, as I said, that you're going to the office for work or you're going to the studio for work. One was feeling at home.
In any department, would you say that Astha, in any particular department, would you say that it's an outstanding film?
That I think we should leave it to the judgment of critics. We've tried our best, all of us, and I'm sure it will move people, and it will affect people in a manner that they will introspect. And in any creative venture or creative piece, there are always, some flaws here and there. But if thematically the film makes you think what you want them to think, I think you've achieved it. And I think this film would have that impact, that it will affect people and they will introspect what are we here for? What are our priorities in life? How do we deal with, the speed of happenings or consumerism? Today this TV, tomorrow that TV, today this car, tomorrow that car, Now, would you like to stop and think where you're heading, where you're going? Things like these, these are the kind of questions which would affect, which would arise in mind when you see the film.
Thank you. Yeah. You were telling me about Astha's theme, and how important it is, how to make people think.
Well, Astha's theme is today's man against consumerism, which is driving everybody mad, because you were competing to, for things which are material. Okay, materials are important, but to what extent? And I think it will help people to go into introspection, to think of their own life, that where do they need to stop in terms of consumerism. If today it is this particular shirt and tomorrow there's another variety in the market, today this car, tomorrow there's another car, is there any end to it, or is that all? Because you need to have a right kind of a balance. Yes, all these things are important. Cellular phones, cars, planes, everything. But to what extent? Why do we say then indulgence? So and so is indulgent person. Because you need one car, you are having 6 cars. You need one pen, you are having 8 pens. You need one shoe, you are having 12 shoes. And not only that, you only work for that. And there is no sense of proportion in relation to the society around you. Because unless that proportion comes in a society, come what may, how many gadgets you may have, but you as a human being cannot be happy. I am protected in house, like Mahatma Buddha was. Okay? Among these 4 walls, my father is rich, I've got everything I need. I don't know any misery in life. But the moment I step out, and I need to step out, and I see misery around. So if I'm a sensitive person, though I assume that 90% of people on this earth are sensitive, so they will be affected in one way or the other.